guys, welcome to Loubert Horror Movie Reviews. For those of you who watched my review of Piranha 3D, you may know that I'm doing a review of The Last Exorcism, as you can see with the title over here. If you haven't seen my review of Piranha 3D, a link for that will be down there, and a link for my other channel, which is the channel where I do my daily vlogs and all that stuff, will be over here. Here we go. Alright, The Last Exorcism is not being very well received by many critics. Like, on IMDb it only has a 6.4, and I was very surprised because at my dad's we don't have any internet, so I wouldn't be able to check IMDb or any other critics' reviews because we have dial-up there, and it would take hours, so I just decided to wait till I got back home to the condo. Now, knowing how a bunch of people think about the film, thinking it's 6, meaning it's okay, I'm very surprised because I thought this movie was awesome. It's basically The Last Broadcast and The Blair Witch Project meets The Exorcist. I know The Blair Witch Project and The Exorcist were two of the scariest movies ever, and this movie was pretty scary. I mean, it was horrifying. I was expecting a bunch of jump scares, so I was expecting nothing special at all out of this movie, but I was amazed and I was impressed. And that's why I'm reviewing it, because I think it's necessary to do so. I'm just going to say that Eli Roth is a genius. Eli Roth created Hostel, and it spawned a sequel, and there's a third movie in the works. And he was in Inglourious Basterds, one of the best movies I've never seen. He produced this movie, and it was shot low budget, no CGI whatsoever. That was pretty cool. I knew this was going to be shot like an independent film with a shaky camera and like Blair Witch Project kind of feel, and I knew that was going to happen. I could go as far to say this is the best horror film of the year so far. The plot of this movie is, it's about a preacher who believes exorcism is a bunch of bullshit. He thinks it's a scam, he thinks it's not real. He is on a mission to prove it, and they're documenting it on film. He gets a bunch of emails and letters at his P.O. box that have people requesting an exorcism, that they come to their house and perform an exorcism because one of their loved ones is possessed by a demon. So he just picks out one letter out of a pile, and then he goes to that person's house, and their daughter needs an exorcism. But the preacher, it seems like he's performing an exorcism, but really we know that he is completely faking it. He's setting traps, and he's basically rigging stuff to happen. Like, he puts like very thin invisible strings on like mirrors and random objects on the floor to make them shake like there's a ghost in the room or something. It was the funniest part of the whole movie, and I was laughing every time he would cut to getting a prop out of his van to use as like a real thing for exorcism. So I found that to be hilarious, and basically after that, we find out that this girl really is possessed by a demon, so he has to deal with this when he was not even expecting to do anything at all. And that's what I liked about this movie. It turns the whole thing around. First, this was just supposed to be a documentary exposing the sham exorcism is, but it turns all the way around, and it forces this reverend to do an exorcism. So the whole thing gets turned backwards at him and hits him in the face. So that's one of the things I liked about this movie. Second, the performances from everyone were pretty cool, and it has this creepy feeling, kind of like Paranormal Activity. And comparing this to Paranormal Activity is pretty ballsy, because I can honestly say I was more scared of Paranormal Activity than this. But that doesn't mean I didn't like The Last Exorcism. I loved it. So he's trying to prove that exorcism isn't real, but he finds out that it is real and it is necessary for this person's child to get an exorcism. So he has to do a second one, and this time it's for real. No tricks, no props, no strains, nothing. He has to observe this girl. She's acting out, she is killing people, she is cutting people with knives. She's doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and it's freaky. Since there's no CGI in this film, it just shows you that bigger budgets don't make better horror movies. And that's a perfect example comparing this to Piranha 3D. Bigger budgets don't make better horror movies. Look at all the great independent horror films. Paranormal Activity, for one, that was most recent. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Night of the Living Dead, Halloween, White Zombie, Bubba Hotep, that was another recent one from 2002. The Evil Dead, Black Christmas. The list goes on and on and on, but those are just some that come right to my head. This might go down as one of the cult classics, because some people love it like me, some people like it, and some people absolutely hated it. I gave it an 8 on IMDb, and that's what I'm going to give it in this review. 8 out of 10. So, I did not give much away because I just want you to go see this for yourself. It's worth every penny you pay for it. Because it's just worth going to see. It's pretty cool. And I will definitely be getting this on DVD as soon as I can. I am not going to re-review this or Piranha 3D because I'm confident with what I have said. I think my opinion will stay put. And thank you for watching this episode of Eric Loubert Horror Movie Reviews. This is not the beginning of Season 2, okay? Season 2 doesn't begin until September 10th. That's 8 days from now. I got a lot more work to do. So, thank you for watching this, and see you later.